Hi guys, today we are going to discuss another question that we received from many people. And the question is my marriage still worth fighting for? And everybody has a different experience and the situations are different, but the bottom line, the question is my marriage still worth fighting for? When is the right time to quit?
Welcome to Mike and Christelle podcast, where family meets faith and fun. Remember to subscribe and share with your friend and family, and don't forget to click the notification button so you get notified when we upload new videos.
Great.
In general, people enter into marriage without an exit plan.
Yeah.
Every breakup hurts.
Yes, that's why, because when we get married, we hope things will go well. Or when you get married, you hope you will live the rest of your life together. So it's unfortunate that breakups or divorces happen.
Yeah.
We talk about them because it's a reality of life. So
Yeah.
we can't avoid talking about things that are real. So divorce is real, and we know we have friends who have been through it. We have people in the church who have been through it. So we understand it's real and we need to talk about it. We know that every breakup, every separation hurts. So let's start from there. Everybody gets into relationship with hope that it will go well, that things will go well. And unfortunately, things start to happen, and some things become unbearable. What are the things that are unbearable in relationship?
Yeah. Some Christians believe that the only reason to quit a relationship is in case of infidelity.
Yeah.
However, we have seen so many couples recover from that. So couples have gone through infidelity and recovered from that, and their marriage is still fine and strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
For many generations, it was taught that in case of infidelity was the only reason to divorce. And it's in the Bible. A question was asked to Jesus, and he answered this. People can interpret it the different ways, but we know that it's there. It's in the Bible. It's the permission. It's permission if there is infidelity, or if there is someone is unfaithful in a relationship. You can decide to divorce. You can quit if that is up to you. But we have seen couples that recovered from it. That the person who was unfaithful repented and changed, and the relationship was restored. So we believe that people should fight for their marriage for as long as they can.
Yeah.
So
We are for marriage.
We are for marriage. We
All
are for
the
marriage.
time.
And it's not like every time there is unfaithfulness, quit. It's a big. Every time there is infidelity, quit. No, it's not. That's not the case. There is permission to do it, but you may choose not to use that permission if the other side is willing to work on themselves.
So
Yes.
both of them are willing to work on it.
If you don't feel like you can handle it, if you don't feel like you can forgive, nobody should force you to forgive. Forgiveness is not by force.
Yeah.
So if you
It's a
feel like
choice.
the situation is unbearable, the Bible has given you permission. If you feel like leaving that person will make your life better, you have permission from the Bible.
Yeah.
Infidelity is not something easy.
No, it's not something easy to go
Not
through.
something easy. So,
Yeah.
but we always encourage people to try to
Work on
forgive,
their marriage,
try
yeah.
to forgive. Working on repairing the marriage is always better than quitting. The pain is just so bad when people divorce, or when people separate. So our point is, there is permission in case of immorality. There is permission, but you don't have to use that permission.
Most Christian counselors and Bible scholars agree that abuse is a valid reason to quit a relationship.
Yes. Abuse is accepted among most Christians today, that in case of abuse, you can divorce if the person can't stop abusing you. But the challenge now is, how do we define abuse? how do we know that this is abuse, or it was just, there's so many, and I'm not trying to defend anybody here, but in case of abuse, we encourage people to see a professional so that it can be well defined. Is it emotional abuse? It is spiritual abuse? It is financial abuse? It is physical abuse? Define it, understand it before you quit. Otherwise, you may just be unhappy with something, because most people today, we are after happiness, which is fine, but being unhappy doesn't mean you are being abused. And there are so many situations that we can confuse with abuse. But in case of abuse, after you've seen a professional, you know that there is abuse. Again, that is another good reason to really quit a relationship. We are in agreement, my wife and I, if a couple is if a person is going through abuse in a relationship, to be honest, you better just open the door and disappear.
Yeah. Again, we are for marriage.
Yes. We are for marriage. And it's hard to tell someone who is going through abuse to stay in a relationship. It's really hard, because we've seen people lose their lives because of that. So we can't really tell people who are going through abuse to stay. We are for marriage. We are for reparation and restoration and prayer and patience. But if it's defined as abuse, like you can lose your life because of it. If you are in a relationship and it seems like you can lose your life because of it, that is a dangerous place to be. Then the door is widely open for you to leave it. We don't encourage you to stay there, but it should be well defined.
Another reason why to quit a relationship or get a divorce is when one of the parties is no longer committed to the relationship.
Yes. Marriage is between two people. If one person doesn't want to stay, do you want to force them? You can't force them. And how do you know someone doesn't want to stay if they're not committed to the relationship anymore? And there are so many things you can check to know if someone is no longer committed to the relationship. If one of the parties is no longer committed to the relationship, there is no commitment anymore, they're not willing to make the relationship work, then they're inviting you to go. And that's fine. That's really fine. I think you can't force someone to stay married to you. Marriage is a choice. We stay together because we choose to be together.
And when you choose to be together, that means you're willing to put in the work.
Yes.
You're willing to put in the time and sacrifice and all that.
Yes.
So if one of them party is not willing to do that, that means it's time for the marriage to be over.
Yes, but we also have seen marriages where things went wrong. One side was like they don't want to be into it, and by the grace of God, they changed. God answered the prayer. With the grace of God, the person stayed. The other side that was committed prayed and believed God until the marriage was restored again. So we really encourage you to stay for as long as you can, to pray for as long as you can, to stay faithful to God for as long as you can. These are not easy things we are talking about.
No.
We are not saying this because we think our marriage is working, so everybody else is like that. No. We are talking about reasons why you can quit. So if the other part is no longer interested, is not longer committed, that's a reason to leave. But also, we've seen people in that situation for years, and at the end of the day, the marriage was restored. So we can't tell you, if you see the other side is not committed, just go. Who knows? You can keep praying and God can restore things. So we always want to mention that there is hope. There is still hope. You can stay. And who knows? By God's grace. And maybe that's your calling. Maybe that's what God has called you, to be patient and to pray for the life of that person. And one day the person will come back. So it's worth fighting for.
The bottom line is, you need to fight for your marriage so long as it is safe to do so.
Yes.
So as long as it's safe for you to do so, you need to keep fighting for your marriage.
Yes. So, and that is something you need to understand. What does it mean to be safe? Fight for your marriage as long as it's safe. We mentioned a few things. One, if one of the spouses is cheating and keeps doing it and they don't want to change, and your heart is broken and you don't know what to do, for years you've tried and nothing is changing, you have permission to leave.
Yeah.
So
You're
is
not
that
safe anymore.
Voila.
Yeah.
You're not safe
Not
anymore.
safe anymore.
We also mentioned cases of abuse.
Yeah.
If someone is abusing you and keep abusing you, you're not safe anymore. So as much as you are going to fight for your marriage, remember your safety is necessary.
Yeah.
So yourself, you will know when you're not safe anymore. Always find someone you trust, a counselor or a pastor or someone in your life who you can discuss these things with. Don't just keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
I know the culture hasn't allowed women and to talk about these issues, but if you're being abused in a relationship,
Talk about it.
Find someone to discuss it with. Don't be ashamed to talk about it. If your husband kicks you or beats you or does some stuff like that, talk about it.
Or if your wife
Oh,
does
yeah.
that. If your wife does that to you.
Some wife,
Yeah. If your wife abuses you.
I admit that some wives can also abuse you. So, and it can be any kind of abuse. Commitment. If there is no commitment, at the end of the day, if there's no commitment, the marriage is dying.
Yeah.
It's dying by itself. It's just falling apart.
Yeah. There is no marriage without commitment.
If you are going through a situation like this, we truly pray that God will give
restore your
you the
marriage,
grace
yeah.
to restore your marriage.
Yes.
That's our prayer.
Yeah.
Our prayer is not the strength to divorce. Our prayer is the strength to restore.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the other person in your life, if it's the husband or the wife, will come to their senses, repent and change and join you again. That's our prayer.
Yeah. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell and share with your friends and family.
Yeah.
And remember, when family is healthy, the nation is healthy. Bye.
Bye.